Are you mad? You want to hit me? Because you look like you're going to hit me. I just watched the Sandra Bland traffic stop, in which she was pulled over by Officer Brian Insignia for failure to signal a lane change. She was arrested and subsequently accused of assaulting the officer. There are a few interesting points that I'd like to make. First, I want to point out how he escalated, different things he did to escalate the situation. Second, I want to point out how he created circumstances that amounted to resist. And lastly, I want to discuss the roles of Black women and contrast the two Black women we see in the video and how their behaviors were perceived and accepted or rejected. I hope this video will provide a unique perspective. One thing that I noticed early on, the officer appeared to scratch her car upon arrival when he first approached the vehicle. And I'll include a close-up of that. But if that's the case, then we already know where his mindset was as soon as he approached. Let's get started.
Hello, ma'am. With the take sign of patrol, the reason for your stop is you failed to signal the lane change. You got your driver's license and insurance with you? What's wrong? How long you been in Texas? Okay. Do you have a driver's license? No, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Where are you headed to now? Okay. Can you give me a few minutes, all right? Okay, ma'am. You okay?
I'm waiting on you. This is your job. I'm waiting on you. What do you want me to
I know you
say?
seem very irritated.
I am. I really am. Because I feel like this crap is what I'm getting a ticket for. I was getting out of your way. You were speeding up, tailing me. So I move over and you stopped me. So yeah, I am a little irritated, but that doesn't stop you from giving me a ticket.
Are you done?
You asked me what was wrong and I told you.
Okay.
So now I'm done, yeah.
Okay. You mind putting out your cigarette, please? If you mind.
I'm in my car. Why do I have to put out my cigarette?
Well, you can step on out now.
I don't have to step out of my car.
Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Step out or I will remove you.
I am getting removed for a failure.
Step out or I will remove you. I'm giving you a lawful order. Get out of the car now or I'm going to remove you.
And I'm calling my
I'm going to yank you out of here.
Okay, you're going to yank me out of my car?
Get out.
Okay, all right. Let's do this.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah. Don't touch me.
Get out of the car.
Don't touch me. I'm not under arrest. You don't have the right to take me.
You are under arrest.
I'm under arrest for what?
25.
For what?
7 County FM 1098. Just
For what?
290. Send me another unit. Get out of the car. Get out of the car now.
Why am I being apprehended? You trying to give me a ticket?
I said get out of the car.
Why am I being apprehended?
I am giving you a lawful order. I'm going to drag you out of here.
So you threatening to drag me out of my own car?
Get out of the car.
And then you
I will light you up. Get out.
Wow.
Now.
Wow.
Get out of the car.
For a failure to signal. You're doing all of this for
Get over there.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court.
In speaking to Sandra Bland, Officer Brian Encina, he asked what was wrong immediately after asking for her identification. Later, he asked, "Are you okay? You seem irritated." He's repeating the behavior and putting it in her head. Of course, she is irritated, and anyone in that situation would be irritated. But instead of diffusing that situation, he instead chose to antagonize her by asking those simple questions, which, taken at face value, could seem to be pleasant. Are you okay? It's not what the intent was. Consider this. If I ask someone, "Wow, you look mad. You look like you're gonna fight. Are you gonna hit me?" And they've given no indication that they wanted to do so, but I continually ask them, it's as though I am priming them up and trying to influence them to do what I'm suggesting. I'm trying to put a suggestion in their head. Are you mad? You want to hit me? Because you look like you're going to hit me. This is what the officer did. And the statement he made, "Are you done?" It's so disrespectful. And it's literally used to antagonize a person. She explained, "I was simply answering your question, but yes, I'm done now." Later in the video, you'll see that he expressed to her, "I was only going to give you a warning."
This right here says a warning. You started creating the problem.
What's interesting is, since she just expressed, "I don't feel I deserve this ticket," at that moment, he could have said, "I'm actually writing you a warning." So Sandra Bland had no reason to think she was getting anything other than a ticket. So she would have every reason to still be irritated. But the officer supposedly knew he was giving her a warning only. But he remained silent for a few moments, and then he asked her to put out her cigarette, which she has no legal obligation to do. Everything he's done to this point has escalated the tenseness of the situation. He wanted her out of the car. He wanted to put her in cuffs. Next, we'll see how he created resist.
Failure to signal. Yep, for failure to signal.
Get off the phone.
On my school.
Get off the phone.
I'm not on the phone. I have a right
Put
to
your
record.
phone
This is
down.
my property.
Put your phone down.
Sir?
Put your phone down. Right now. Put your phone down.
For fucking failure to signal, my goodness.
Come over here.
Y'all are interested.
Come over here now.
You feeling good about yourself?
Stand right here.
You feeling good about yourself?
Stand right
For
there.
failure to signal, you feel real good
Turn
about
around.
yourself, don't you?
Turn around.
You feel good about yourself,
Turn
don't you?
around now.
What are you?
Put your hands
Why
behind your
am I
back and
being
turn around.
arrested?
Turn around.
Why can't you tell me
I'm giving you a lawful order. I will
Why
tell
am I
you.
being arrested?
Turn
Why
around.
won't you tell me that part?
I'm giving you a lawful order. Turn around.
Why will you not tell me
You are not
what's going on?
compliant.
I'm not complying because you just pulled me out of my car.
Turn around.
Are you fucking kidding me? This is some bullshit.
Put your hands behind your back.
Because you know this is straight bullshit and you full of shit. Full of straight shit. That's all y'all is, some scary fucking cops. South Carolina got y'all bitch asses scared. That's all it is. Fucking scared of a female.
If you would just listen.
I was trying to sign the fucking ticket. Whatever.
Stop moving.
Are you fucking serious?
Stop moving.
Oh, I can't wait till we go to court. Ooh, I can't wait. I cannot wait till we go to court. I can't wait. Ooh, I can't wait. You want me to sit down now?
No.
Or you gonna throw me to the floor? That'll make you feel better about yourself?
Knock it off.
No, that'll make you feel better about yourself? That'll make you feel real good, won't it? Pussy ass. fucking pussy. For a failure to signal, you doing all of this. In little ass Prairie View, Texas. My God, they must have...
You were getting a warning. Until now, you're going to jail.
No, I'm getting... For what?
You can come read.
What?
Come read right.
I'm getting a warning for what?
Stay right here.
For what? Well, you just pointed me over there.
I said stay right
Get
here.
your fucking mind right. Let me... Oh, I swear on my life, y'all some pussies. A pussy-ass cop for a fucking signal. You gonna take me to jail?
She's in handcuffs.
What a pussy. What a pussy. What a pussy. You about to break my fucking wrist.
Stop moving.
I'm standing still. You
Stay
keep
right
moving
here.
me, goddammit.
Stay right there.
Don't touch me. Fucking pussy for a traffic signal. You going out with bullshit?
Come right over here. This right here says a warning. You started creating the problem.
You asked me what was wrong.
Do you have
I'm trying to
anything
tell
on
you.
your person that's
Do
illegal?
it feel like I got anything on me? This a fucking maxi
I'm gonna
dress.
remove your glasses.
This a maxi dress.
Come on over here.
Have on me. Fucking asshole. You're about to break my wrist. Can you stop? You are about to fucking break my wrist.
Stop moving. Stop now. Stop it.
Stop resisting, man.
If you would stop, and I would tell you.
Oh, fucking traffic.
Now stop.
You are such a pussy. You are such a pussy.
Officer Brian Encinia, once he got Sandra Bland out of the car and out of the sight of the camera, he created a situation through small police techniques that first made it appear as though Sandra was resisting or not complying. And then second, he did create a very specific situation in which Sandra Bland had to defend herself. And I'll talk about that in a moment. At one point, you hear the officer say, "Stop moving." Sandra Bland says, "Are you serious? You're moving me. I'm just standing here." Now, because he's out of sight of the camera, we can't say for certain how he moved her, but up until that point, he has been rather unreasonable. So it's not hard to believe. He starts to walk her while she's cuffed. But he walks her by the arm over towards the trunk and then points in the opposite direction and says, "Stand right there." So now he's making statements, making demands of her that contradict what his actions are. That's intentional. The fact that he has to repeat himself, the audio is being recorded, the video is being recorded. He's saying, "Stand right here," while she's moving in this direction. He's creating a scenario so it looks like she's not going where he's asking her to go. If they're both off camera and all you hear is him repeatedly asking her to stop moving, stop resisting, or repeating commands, then it gives the impression that she is not complying. Keeping in mind that to this point, she has no reason to be under arrest. He walks over, he gets the ticket, and then calls over and says, "See, look at this. That says warning. You caused this." So now he's blaming the situation on her, trying to reframe it so that it seems like she is really the instigator of the situation, when in fact the opposite is true. If you look at the earlier stop.
Okay? This here is a warning. There is no fine, there's no penalty, but you just need to follow the posted speed limit, okay? What year are you here at school? Sophomore. You here for summer school or taking a lot of classes? Just two? Okay. Here's a copy of the warning. There's no fine, no penalty, okay? And there's your driver's license, all right?
He reassures her a number of times. Now, this isn't a ticket. There's no penalty. There's no fine. Don't worry about it. All right? This isn't a ticket. It's just a warning. There's no penalty. There's no fine. He made sure that was clear with the first driver. With Sandra Bland, he doesn't even mention it's a warning until he already has placed her in cuffs. So now that Sandra Bland is in cuffs, Officer Encinia is moving her around, telling her to stand over here while moving her in this direction. He's making claims off camera. "Stop moving." And she's responding, "Are you serious? You're moving me." How do we know she's standing still? Because when Officer Encinia goes to pick up the ticket, she's right where he left her. When the next officer shows up, you see the car coming into the frame on the left side of the screen. Now, while that's happening, Officer Insignia is quiet, but you hear Sandra Bland saying, "You're about to break my wrist." Now, she's already said, "You're about to break my wrist," earlier in the video. She only said it one time.
"You're about to break my fucking wrist."
And she maintained a strong, firm voice when she said it. At this point, when she says, "You're about to break my wrist," she's saying, "You're about to break my wrist. You're about to break my wrist. Stop, stop, stop." And she starts crying. Her voice goes up in register. At this point, the second officer is approaching the situation. Now, why would Sandra Bland start crying? She hasn't cried the entire time, even before when she said he was trying to break her wrist. I believe he was twisting her wrist to such a point that it would force a reaction from her. And she would struggle against the force he was applying to her wrist, so that as the other officer approached, they would not see what he had been doing to her wrist, but they would see her struggling and crying. It was intentional. And why would he do that? So that when the other officer files her report, it starts with, "As I arrived on scene, I witnessed the suspect struggling against Officer Insignia and resisting arrest." He's already established a pattern, trying to make it seem as though Sandra Bland was doing more than she actually was. The other interesting thing to note is, remember, at the point where the second officer is arriving on the scene, Officer Insignia is quiet, and whatever Sandra Bland was saying, which I believe was this was some bullshit, she was ready to take the case to court. She has not asked any questions during that period of time where the second officer is arriving on the scene. But as the officer approaches and you hear her voice saying, "Calm down, ma'am, stop resisting," Officer Insignia says, "Stop, stop and I'll tell you." Tell her what? She hasn't asked anything at this point. He's reframing the situation so that it looks like he has done nothing wrong and that she has been the instigator of all of the trouble. He created resist. Lastly, I want to explore the idea of how the two different black women in this situation are perceived.
Stop resisting, man.
If you would stop, then I would tell you.
Oh, fucking traffic.
Now stop.
You are such a pussy. You are such a pussy. No, you are.
You're yanking around.
Full traffic signal.
You are yanking around. When you pull away from me, you're resisting arrest.
This makes you feel real good, don't it? The female for traffic signal. I got it. For traffic signal. I know that makes you feel good, Officer. Take care of yourself. I know it makes you feel real good. You're a real man now. You just slam me, knock my head in the ground. I got epilepsy, you motherfucker.
Good. Good.
You should have thought about that before you start resisting. Good. You should have thought about that before you start resisting. All right, yeah, this is real good. Real good for a female, yeah. Y'all strong, boom. Y'all real strong.
I want you to wait right here. Wait right here.
I can't go nowhere with your fucking knee on my back, duh.
For a warning. For a warning, you're going to jail for resisting arrest. Stand up.
If I could,
Okay, roll over.
I can't even fucking feel my arm.
Tuck your knee in. Tuck your knee in.
Goddamn. I can't.
Listen. You gotta sit up on your butt.
Slam my head into the ground.
Sit up on your butt.
Listen to how he's telling you to get up. I can't even hear. Yes, you can. He
Sit up
slammed
on your
my
butt.
fucking head into the ground.
Sit up on your butt.
What the hell?
Now stand up.
All of this for a traffic signal. All of this for a traffic signal. Thank you for recording. Thank you for a traffic signal. Slam me into the ground and everything. No. Everything. I hope y'all feel
This
good.
officer saw everything.
And I'm so glad to put that. You just got on the scene, so whatever. No, you wasn't. You were pulling up. No, you didn't. No, ma'am. You didn't see everything leading up to it. I'm not talking to you. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm good. She started yanking away, then kicked me, so I took her straight to the ground.
Yeah, there you got it right there. So, yeah. Let me see. I'll search it for you if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one thing for sure, it's on video.
Yeah.
You hurt? No. Okay. Did you see her when we were right here?
Yeah, I saw the death by front. Death by front.
What stood out to me was, if you watch the entire video, you may hear Sandra Bland refer to Officer Insignia as sir once when he asked her to put her phone down. Other than that, she has simply been professional. Not differential, but professional. She hasn't been disrespectful, but she hasn't kissed ass. She has not kowtowed. Her responses have been matter-of-fact and very dignified. Until he pulled her out of the car, put cuffs on her, refused to answer why she was being arrested. When he started creating the situations of resist, she knew what he was doing, and she called him out on it. The second officer, she begins going back and forth with Sandra Bland almost immediately. When she tells her to stop resisting, at one point, Sandra Bland calls the officers a derogatory term for female genitalia. You hear the female officer tell her, no, you are. So she's already set herself on the same level in terms of how she is behaving. Officer Insignia notices that there's a man recording with his cell phone standing about 25 yards away. And he tells the man to get out of here. You need to leave. He repeats that 3 times. Again, this is a situation where he thinks he has more power than he actually does. But upon returning to Sandra Bland, Sandra is now saying, thank you for recording. All of this for a traffic stop. All of this for a failure to signal. Thank you for recording. Officer Insignia takes that opportunity to inform her, well, the other officer saw everything. She's on my side. She's no help for you. And the other officer co-signs what he's saying. Sandra Bland, at this point, she's no longer crying out, but she begins very clearly expressing, no, you didn't see everything. You just arrived. You didn't see what happened at the traffic stop. You didn't see how he put me in cuffs. She begins explaining, very correctly so, what the other officer missed. The other officer cuts her off. I'm not talking to you. Dismissive. So now we have cattiness between the 2 black women. But now that the officer who performed the arrest, as he starts to walk away from the situation, the second officer, the female, asked him, are you okay? Go ahead and go take care of yourself. I've got her. Brian Encina takes one more opportunity to make an unreasonable request, an unreasonable demand of Sandra Bland. He says, now I don't want you to go anywhere. You hear Sandra Bland's response. How am I going to go anywhere with your knee in my back? Duh. Now, the other black officer, the female officer, is more concerned about the arresting officer. She's more concerned for his well-being than for the woman who's been slammed to the ground, who's crying, you hit my head on the ground. You don't even care about that? Sandra Bland even states at one point, I have epilepsy. And Brian Insignia's response was good. Now, I don't know about you, but that reminds me of, I can't breathe. Fuck your breath. This is in the same vein. The cops saying, essentially, I don't care about your safety. I don't care about your well-being. I'm not here to help you. I'm here to prove a point. We're in this situation so that I can exert my authority over you. And you will understand who's the boss by the time this is finished. And what does the second officer do? She plays her role as tending to the other officer. She's going over, she's very deferential. Are you okay? Yeah, it looks like she got you there. I'll search the car if you want. She's offering, she's nurturing to the arresting officer. This is the type of black woman that the officer was looking for. This was the type of attitude that the officer was looking for. Someone who will cater to me. Someone who will make me feel like I'm special. Are you okay? Oh, she got you. Yeah, go ahead, take care of yourself. I've got this. Oh, I can search that for you. Oh, sir, I'm sorry. Would you like me to can I sign the ticket now? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been. You're right. Oh, no, I'm fine. No, I'm not angry, sir. He was looking for that level of, in his eyes, respect. And the reason Sandra did not respond the way he wanted, one simple word: dignity. And the other officer is going to go back and type up a report that essentially backs up everything that Officer Brian Insenia manufactured and carefully structured in order to create this circumstance in which Sandra Bland is painted as the aggressor. What I take away from this video is black people still have no dignity in the eyes of law enforcement. And if asked how I feel, what I'm thinking, am I upset, I intend to lie. I have no intention of telling an officer what I really think of him if I feel like he is baiting me. No intention of being honest. Because at this point it becomes survival. Not at the price of dignity, but survival. My final thoughts on this: I'm tired of watching black people die. I'm tired of hearing stories where an officer has taken it upon himself to rewrite the Constitution in the name of his particular badge number. You're going to do what I say because I feel like it. That's essentially what the Sandra Bland traffic stop amounted to. I don't like that you are not responding to me the way I think you should respond to me, and even though you're not breaking any laws, I am going to create enough situations in which you will be the bad guy, and you're going to learn that I am in charge. There are people who have made the argument that she was arrested for assault. If you will recall, the officer asked her to step out of her car after she asked, "Why do I need to put out my cigarette?" And then he demanded she step out of the car. He opened her door. He reached in to pull off her seatbelt. She said, "Why? I'm not under arrest." He said, "Yes, you are." If he told her while she was still sitting in her driver's seat that she's under arrest, what had she done? How was she able to assault the police officer before he had even opened the door? He reached into the car. She hadn't done anything wrong. He was trying to pull her out. He pulled a taser and pointed it at her face and threatened to light her up. He put cuffs on her even though she had not broken any laws. He was the one dragging her around. He was the one twisting her wrist to the point where she's screaming and crying, "Stop, stop, you're going to break my wrist." Who was really guilty of assault? I'm tired of seeing this. And who? I want to ask anybody who cares about the situation, anybody who feels like this sort of thing matters at all to them. Who puts up with this? I mean, we have a saying in the black community. Where they do that at? Seriously, where do they let the authorities abuse, beat, murder their community members without penalty, with impunity, walk away? Where does that happen? I mean, besides here. Because if this was happening in a different country, you'd have civil war. Speaking of civil war, America went to war over less than this. The Boston Tea Party, they didn't want to pay taxes anymore. They were tired of being subjugated. They were tired of being under Britain rule. They weren't being murdered unjustly. They weren't being unfairly arrested and charged and imprisoned. They were just being taxed and didn't want to pay taxes anymore, so they went to war. This country went to war for the right to keep other people enslaved. Went to war. Simply because we want to keep doing what we've been doing, even though it's morally despicable. But they expect us to, no, we want you guys to make sure please don't riot, please don't, you can gather peacefully, just be very careful, make sure we want a peaceful demonstration. We don't want you to, why? Because that's not what you speak, that's not the language you speak. You don't respect peace. You respect money and power. That's it. And until we show a little power, we're going to end up on the wrong side of these stories every time. Y'all be safe.